welcome back to Digital DNA Glasgow. We're in the Upstart Startup Zone. My name's Alastair Cameron, I'm from Startacus. We're looking after the space here today, and I am absolutely delighted to be joined by Craig Short from Gigged. Gigged.AI, I believe.
So just Gigged.AI.
Yep.
I think that's like something that quite a lot of people say is like Gigged.AI, but
Yep.
I don't mind because obviously that's like the domain name. So however they want to say it, so I'm happy as long as they get the gig part.
Happy days. So remind me, it's yourself, Rich, Wilson. Is there any other co-founders?
No, it's just the two of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
Rich is very much the business, and I'm like the brain. I think I get in trouble quite a lot.
But you're the looks as well, my friend.
100%.
Exactly. So
100%.
let's remember brains and looks. Don't ever say not.
Yeah.
So listen. Let's start with an explainer for people listening in. Tell us about Gigged.AI or AI.
Okay,
AI.
so it's a platform for freelancers initially. So we're branching out at the moment in a couple other things, but it is for freelancers. I love freelancers.
Yep.
I worked with like so many freelancers in the beginning before, and when I first created the platform, it was just for me and my freelancing friends.
Okay.
So I was just explaining to the guys there, I'm from like a small town.
Yep.
And where I come from, like everyone would always be like, Craig's geeky. I normally wear glasses as well to add to the geekiness.
Happy days.
So I would be fixing iPhones, I'd be making websites, I'd be doing anything. And so a lot of business just kept coming my way. And then I would get to the stage like, oh no, I've got far too much to do, I need help.
Yep.
Or it would get to a point I'm like, I don't actually know what I'm doing here, I need like help on this. So quickly I built up like a network of like freelancers. And when I first thought of the idea, it was just like for me and my freelancing buddies to then obviously like get more, we can do it. So like we'll put the thing on the platform, who's available, pick this up, can you do it, can you there? And then Richard came along and he had an idea that was pretty much very similar to what I was already doing. And then quickly it just became real, it just became a business. So he had the full business model, and again, he's very business minded.
Yep.
I'm not. I think I see everything as a competition.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I'll do it for free just now. But yeah, so what then we landed though, where we are now and what the platform is for clients to find freelancers like the way that I used to. So it's just like on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Anytime that like you're feeling like, oh, I need help just now, or we need a contractor in for like a 6-month piece of work, or I need someone just overnight just to help me, our platform does that.
So we're talking freelancers more so for the tech sector, or are we talking
tech sector?
Are we talking coders?
Yep. Code, like from
is that
someone
your predominant market?
Yep. Everything. So we started in like the tech sector purely because it's where I'm from. Like I was an IT contractor for years. Rich used to actually like head up a recruitment agency, and again, tech sector. So he knows like how to find these people. He knows that market really well. So we're not. There's always talks on like where we would go next and where we would like branch out to. But right now, it's definitely just the tech sector.
And I'm playing devil's advocate here rather than I think I know the answer to this. But how do you differentiate yourself compared to some of the other kind of international platforms that are out there in terms of obviously I don't necessarily want to name them because I think that there's a place for them in the market, and so it's not to dismiss them, but how do you differentiate yourself from other people within that space, the freelancer market?
So the biggest one, and the one that probably I should shout about the most, is our algorithms.
Yeah.
So once we started, we were lucky enough to get an Innovate UK grant, and we spent the full thing on like an algorithm. So our matching algorithm is like insane. Like what we got, I always call it like the Rolls Royce of.
Yeah.
So there's like the system that I built, like an MVP got us out there, and then we had bolted on this like insane matching algorithm. So what that's doing is that's then matching like the best people, the best talent for you, based on skill sets, based on reviews, based on like your like profile completion, and a bunch of other like secret things in the background, the secret sauce. But the other thing that's like why I think we're getting so much talent drawn to us is we don't take like a heap of money from like our talent like the other ones do. So again, I'll not name names since you were like nice like that. But they charge like anywhere between 25 to 35% off of the talent.
Yeah.
And again, I love freelancers, love contractors.
Yeah.
Why are they penalised and getting all that money taken from them? I was just telling the guys here, actually, I was like, I broke something on my system.
Yeah.
2 days before a board meeting,
Yeah.
and I needed all this information. The pipelines weren't working.
Mm-hmm.
I put on a gig at like, I think 9 o'clock at night, because I can't fix this thing. I have a data analyst like, mate, I'll do it, no problem, here. We agreed the price, so I think it was £300.
Yeah.
He fixed it through the night, and he got his £300.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why I should pay, because it's like, I broke it, I desperately needed someone.
For sure.
I want in, so I don't want like their freelancers like that who's helping me in the middle of the night getting penalised. So I want to just be making sure we're looking after them.
So, like, if your margins aren't as big, then I'm guessing you want to ideally more be embedded in industry. I'm guessing that's where you want to go, so that there's potential for a lot more collaboration than perhaps some of the other platforms allow.
Yeah, so it's twofold. And I think like the biggest thing for us is like, again, we were looking yesterday, we've massively undercooked all of like the gig size that we thought. So our business model at the beginning, we were like, if we can get like an average of £2,000 gigs, we are doing very well. Our average gig size at the moment is like 7,000, I think it was 7,600 or something like that. Yeah, so like the size of the gigs again is like been something good, very good for us for the business model. So with like what we're doing is we're already ahead of like the projections and like what we're hoping for. So again, it's worked out like well. We've been pleasantly surprised actually.
That's incredible. And I'm guessing that 7K is not necessarily in one transaction. I'm guessing that some of those relationships can be built between a freelancer and a client, and that is a continuation of that process from beginning to end.
The larger ones, I think the largest payment we've had is 10,000 at a time. So they've just been like, they break it up into what we call milestones. Yeah. So you agree with the contractor freelancer how they want to be like breaking it up. Is it like, and it's always like work determined, like a work package. So they'll have like a milestone and a deliverable to do. So when each deliverable is finished, then they get the money released. The client says, right, that's done, tick. The money is automatically released from escrow and put to them. But then at that point, they need to then put the money into escrow for the following milestone. So, for example, I think we have one just now for like 40k. Yeah. That then has been split into like 4 10s. Yeah. So they paid 10 straight up. Then once that milestone's complete, it's all marked, ticked, and then they need to, before the freelancer will start the next one, they need to the notification to say 10k is now hit the platform.
I've got so many questions that I'd want to ask you, to be fair, because obviously it's the skill shortage is clearly obviously there in the UK at the moment in terms of obviously that market. So obviously trying to find those freelancers in the first place must be pretty tight. Hold on that thought first, because I want to come back to the fact that you are a rising star through Tech Nation, aren't you? Yeah. So obviously it's a funny old time at the moment, obviously in terms of the tech industry. So like, I would like to know obviously where you see your growth coming from. I mean, obviously, like, I'm guessing whether there's a recession or not, you're pretty confident that you're going to be needed because that skill shortage is there. So it's putting those two things together. What's your thoughts on that?
So, a few things. So, like, just now, I think, like, if Rich was here, I think I know the answer that he would say. I'm not sure, like, it's fully. Yeah. But one of the big things that we're definitely finding is side giggers. Yeah. And if like Rich watches this, I want to side gig.
Hello, Rich. Rich,
because
not too well today, I believe. So
no,
like,
he's a little under the weather.
As well.
Yeah. He was out there and I don't know if he partied too hard or whatever.
I think it might be a combination.
He was out with like a few of like our competitors and just like away to these big fancy events in Dallas and.
There you go.
And now he says it's because of like the flying and lack of sleeping over it.
Rich,
I don't know.
You come back to that, but anyway, sorry.
So what I was saying is with the like onboarding, I think like just now we're getting like a lot of side giggers. Yep. And what we've found is like a lot of people have jobs. Yep. But the nature of some of the work and the gigs that are getting put up is a lot of people are like putting up like things like they don't mind you, it's like they're looking for you 2 days a week, they're looking for you cover, they're just looking for you to do a project. For sure. They really don't mind like how often, they don't need you 9 to 5. So we're finding a lot of people are seeing that. Yeah. And with the high, like the kind of like the size of the gigs, they're like, right, I'm going for this. So we're getting a lot of people messaging in and saying, my boss won't see this again and all these kind of things. I'm like, no, and I'm like, what you do in your downtime's yours. We're not publicly sharing like your profile everywhere. We don't index like our talent, so they're not found on Google or anything like that. But yeah, a lot of the people are having like extra jobs, and so it's really driving like so much more talent to the platform
and the economy as well. So you've got that economy piece as well, that you're helping to drive things that perhaps wouldn't be otherwise being done.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like just I always like go back to like all the little things that as well that I use. Like, so again, I use the platform and like, so what we're doing is like helping people. That's like, there's a student that's just helped me out and done something for me. Like, and then so we've given him great feedback. He's now moved on to another job. He's now, I think the newest one, he's getting paid something like, it was like £300 a day or something. Amazing. Absolutely loving it. And then so like what we're doing is like opening like the doors for a lot of people like early on. And then for the people that are just looking for like extra money, they're in there or just want an extra project, we're breaking down the doors for all of these people at the moment.
Super. I've got loads of questions from the client side, but we do have to move on to the next interview, so we'll have a follow-up on that as well.
That's great.
Because obviously, like, I could see myself using it, and obviously I'm guessing a lot of people could in that sense as well. So we'll follow up on that. But just finally, how can people find you? It's Gigged.AI. You on the social as well, like Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff?
Everything. I think we're everywhere. If you've not seen us on LinkedIn, I'd be surprised, because it seems like the LinkedIn just seems to get all the views and like absolutely smashing it.
Good.
But we're on all the platforms, and anyone can reach out to me. You'll find me just Craig Short or Craigie Short or something. You'll find it.
And it's Gigged, Gigged.AI. So let's go and check out Gigged.AI. We'll be back with another chat at the Startup Zone at DNA Glasgow very soon. Thank you.